Speaking of busy, the President of the United States later on today is going to ask Congress for $2 billion in emergency aid, essentially to speed up the processing of these kids and their families down on the southern border. While he asked for the $2 billion to speed up the process, however, what he's not asking for is the legal authority to quickly deport the kids, which, because they are from non-contiguous countries, not Canada, not Mexico, we actually have to go through a legal process rather than say, hey, turn around, go home.
Yeah, $2 billion, as far as we know, to go for more judges, for more Border Patrol agents, and also more facilities to house these illegal immigrants who are coming to the United States, not more money to get rid of them. So what's going to happen? I mean, what we're hearing is that the problem isn't over, right? That more and more are going to be coming across our borders. So in a couple months, are we going to be asking for $2 billion more from Congress?
Good question.
Yeah, you got 52,000 kids so far just this year and 39,000 families overall. And what you're referring to, possibly, Anna, is the report out of a Texas radio station that 300,000 are expected from Central America. They are en route to the U.S. right now. So what about this money? Conflicting reports. Some saying that the president's going to back off on deporting most of these kids. The Washington Post saying he's going to get tough and deport most of these kids as soon as he gets the technical legal authority. I can't imagine Republicans standing in his way on this if you give him the freedom to go through that 2008 order.
But his left, keep in mind this, you know, and a lot of Democrats are saying, look, George Bush signed this law, and he's absolutely right. This law was passed in 2008, and what it did was, if you were the victim of sex trafficking, come to the United States, we'll take care of you. Are all these people the victims of sex trafficking? Probably not. They're just using a loophole. Nonetheless, people on the political left say, look, it's a humanitarian crisis. You've got to bring the children here, and we will take care of them. However, if you look at Murrieta, California, where they've turned around a couple of the buses, the mayor there, Alan Long, who has been on this program, has detailed the fact that the kids who are coming here, we're not treating them so right.
These kids, these women, children, they're being transported all over the country. Come to find out they didn't have the health screening they needed. They didn't get the care they were needed. And they wanted just to come here and spend the night in a jail facility, which is no place. It's not even humane for people to do that.
Right, so a lot of attention's going on that one little town, and a lot of people from all around said that is the line in the sand. A lot of people who are just concerned about the country and their own safety are being mislabeled, I think, as people that are intolerant towards immigrants. It's illegal immigrants and these families. Who's going to pay for all this out of a cost at the low end, $34 billion, at a country that owes $17 trillion? How many tens of thousands can we actually bring in? Meanwhile, I think, in my humble opinion, that we're missing the point when we're talking about the president going from Texas, once he's in Texas, going to the border. More than going to the border or not going to the border, I would just love to see him have a policy and just say, listen, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what we're going to implement. I don't even care if he goes and grabs his binoculars.
Well, at the moment, we don't think he is going to see the border. He's just going to be in Texas for a fundraiser to give a speech on the economy and try to get some Democrats reelected. But the White House press secretary seeming to think, well, you know, we're really not worried about the way this looks. We're not worried about a PR campaign right now.
Crazy.
On the other hand, one Democratic congressman from Texas is saying, this could really damage the president. Listen.
We're not worried about those optics, George, and that's simply because the president is very aware of the situation that exists on the southwest border.
I'm sure that President Bush thought the same thing, that he could just look at everything from up in the sky, and that he owned it for a long time. So I hope this doesn't become the Katrina moment for President Obama, saying that he doesn't need to come to the border. He should come down.
That's a Democrat.
Player's got an excellent point. It could become the president's Katrina moment because he does not seem engaged on this either. And when you look at the politics of it, you've got a humanitarian crisis on our southern border. And, you know, people from the political left have for years said, look, we don't need to build a wall. It's secure down there. You got 5-year-olds walking across all by themselves, unfortunately. And that's the problem. So many people right now, as you can see the images right there, thought the border was secure, but right now nobody is really guarding the border. All those agents are babysitting right now.
Can anyone actually say, from the Democratic side or the Republican side, that the border's sealed? That's one issue that I think we can all put to bed. The border is not sealed.
Right.
Small children are getting through.
Never was.
People are running through, let alone the unsavory activity that's been going on there for people who don't want to get caught. These other people do want to get caught.
Right, and the Democrat that we just heard from, Representative Henry Cuellar from Texas, is going to be joining us tomorrow ahead of President Obama's visit to his home state. So we're going to be looking forward to that. Right. But as far as the lack of policy, like you mentioned, that we're hearing from the president, well, Charles Krauthammer has a thought on that. Listen.
I don't think he is lost on this. I think he knows what to do. He wants to win the political argument with Hispanics and other pro-immigration groups, and he's doing it for political reasons, very, very cynically.
The Hispanic vote, pro-immigration groups, and also if these individuals end up becoming naturalized citizens, voting citizens, you can guess they're going to become Democratic voters, too.
There are many who say that.